Good morning to you. I'm Jeff Slinky. Got some great guests in the studio today to talk about a stand-down event on November 19th at Memorial Hall. I've got April Pooler and Tom Davis in studio this morning. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff.
Thanks for coming on the air today. Now, April, before we get into this, I understand you were at the Seahawks game last night, and it is all throughout the month, the Salute to Service month, and Nate Boyer was the long snapper for the Seahawks Special Forces, raised the 12th man flag. How was it up there?
Oh, it was amazing. I think the best part was when the two helicopters were going over, we had a huge flag, both American flag and, of course, the 12th man flag. It was just amazing. And my friend and I, who was Navy, we were there and we saluted. We felt like that was the day to salute. So we didn't just have our hands over our heart. We were saluting, and it just felt amazing.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. It was a great game for all the Seahawks fans out there. Mason County Veterans Advisory Board is putting together Stand Down 2016 on November 19th from 9 to 2 at Memorial Hall is what we're talking about today. You can learn a little bit more about this at masoncountyveterans.com. So what is this event, Tom? April, tell us a little bit about this.
Well, first of all, April is the chair of our advisory committee.
Okay.
And she's really done a fantastic job to bring a whole bunch of people together. As you know, this is predominantly a male-oriented effort. And April has broken that glass ceiling and brought us together in a way we were unable to bring ourselves together.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's really good. And that is reflected in this stand down. Now, the stand down includes the American Legion as part of the stand down effort in terms of their participation and contribution, 40 at 8, the VFW Post, and who else? And the Disabled American Veterans, which is odd because I'm a life member of that, and I always
forget that one.
We forget to include family members. In any case, so this is significant, Jeff, in the regard that all the service organizations are coming together for this one effort, and that's what we do in the service, in the armed forces. We all come together. We kid around a lot, and we rag and ride each other about the different branches of service, but when we need to come together, we do come together, and this is reflected in this stand down at Memorial Hall. So it's significant in that way. It's also significant, obviously, to provide the services for people in need of services who have already served their country. That kind of balloons out into a bunch of other areas. I work with veterans who are involved in the criminal justice system. Sometimes when you provide services and needs, the crime rate in that particular population might go down, because these are basic needs that we're providing, and their clothing, their socks, their sleeping bags for people who are outside, and so on. So there's going to be a bunch of services that we're going to provide, not only the materials, but also there's going to be mental health services, there's going to be employment services, there's going to be free haircuts, there's going to be legal counseling, there's going to be housing assistance. So we're trying to make this a one-stop shop, and we also have the Veterans a mobile medical unit. That's coming down, going to park right outside by the safety building, so right between the two buildings, the Memorial Hall and the safety building, and we're going to have the street closed off. And so the veterans will be able to come in and get the services, and then go out and register with the mobile medical unit or have their medical needs met. That's huge.
That is huge.
And we're looking for a permanent home in town for that mobile medical unit, up and beyond the stand down.
This is a pretty unique area as well, with veterans all in the county, but not perhaps in the major population centers of the county. We know, Tom, that you did some work going out and trying to find folks and making counts and head counts I think it was over the summer you did that. Now, are you able to get the information to those groups of folks to come in and talk with us and get involved with this? April, are you familiar with the folks out there? And
yes, we actually have a handful of people who have been able to bring the flyers out to remote areas and little stores that they may visit or frequent. So we're getting the word out as much as we can, and obviously on the radio.
Sure.
And so word of mouth, little posters here and there if they use the transit system, just everywhere we can think of.
I'm looking at some of the things that you're talking about here as well on the flyers and at MasonCountyVeterans.com under the tab Sponsor a Veteran. One of the things that you can do is for just $150, the approximate need to cover a complete kit is something that you can definitely help out with your veterans. Now, what is included in that kit, and how can we get involved with that?
This is April's page.
All right, April. April, what do you got for me on this?
Okay. In a nutshell, we're focusing mostly for the kits for the homeless. So that would mean a sleeping bag, some cold weather gear, some wet weather gear, as you can imagine, and toiletries, basic necessities like that. And, there's a lot more to it, like a poncho liner, but that's the biggest main part of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And, obviously if they're there without, we want to make sure they have something.
For sure.
This weather is brutal.
Yeah. I can imagine how it is out in the wild here as the fall turns into winter. So there is the opportunity for folks to become involved as sponsors. You have a couple already. Looks like the Republican Women's Club of Mason County, Gillis Auto Center, the Shelton Bible Club, and Tom and Amy Davis are supporting the kits, and the in-kind donations from the Shopper Weekly and Clippers and 2nd Street Design Studio. So those are the folks offering the haircuts coming up?
Right, and we give what they call chits, so they won't be cutting the hair right at Memorial Hall.
Sure.
We'll be serving breakfast there also and lunch, but the chits they can take across the street and they can get a haircut. It would probably be after hours. I also wanted to mention that the supplies coming in, and there are several truckloads coming in yesterday and then again today. We get surplus items from other stand-down events. So this is kind of regional, so we all work together. When we have a stand-down event and if we don't get rid of all our supplies, then the next stand-down event is always hungry for supplies.
Yeah.
So those surplus items move around not only this county, but other counties as well, all over Western Washington. And so there's always a need. More veterans coming in, more supplies are needed, and everybody kind of works hand in hand. This is what's so special about this. This is what makes it better than any other event that we get involved, or any other cause that we get involved in, is that we get to work together and we get to make connections with other counties and for the greater good. And I think I couldn't be more proud to be part of it, and all the organizations that are involved here. I think everybody recognizes that this is extremely worthy.
Again, this is a stand-down event on November 19th from 9 a to 2 p.m. Open to all veterans, homeless, veterans in need, and immediate dependent family members at Veterans Hall, Memorial Hall in downtown Shelton. Sounds like it's going to be a big event, and I can imagine that you need all hands on deck, extra volunteers to come and help out. How can folks get that information and come and volunteer their time?
They can contact, if they go to the website, there's an email address, or if they want to email me direct, MasonCountyVeterans@gmail.com.
Okay.
And one last thing I want to note is that the donation, it's tax deductible because thanks to the VFW local post, they've worked with us so we can accept tax deductible donations.
Definitely find out the information at MasonCountyVeterans.com. There are a lot of links to public groups, service organizations, and more that you can get help with if you need to. Sponsor a Veteran is the tab too, where you can learn where and how to buy a kit to help out veterans in our community. So November 19th from 9 to 2, open to all veterans. It's at Memorial Hall, 210 West Franklin Street. Now, Tom, you said the road's going to be closed there in front of Memorial Hall. So
actually, adjacent to Memorial Hall, it's not an access road, so it won't interfere with either parking or pedestrian traffic.
Hot breakfast, lunch, health screenings, benefit counseling, legal aid, clothing, bedding, hygiene kits, haircuts, and more is available to the veterans on November 19th. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you very much.